Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Last Make Podcast. I'm your host, Primal, and in today's episode, we are going to be covering Minor 2 of the Call of Duty League Black Ops 7 2026 season. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all support and love on last week's episode. Glad you guys enjoyed it. So, let's crack on into it. So, alright. Oh, I don't have my notes in front of me, but I'm going to do this from what I remember. Alright, so starting from top, working way bomb, Falcons, Map 5, Masterclass, XNID, Search and Destroy, looking on top level par for Falcons. Koi versus Cloud9, don't even need to talk about this. This was literally a pub stomping. GG's to Koi for 3-0. Next, Heretics versus Surge. This is where things get interesting. So, Trax gets benched. No, Trax gets dropped from Heretics. Real comes in from the sub spot. And this is your team from Black Ops 6. And it's like, okay, this is going to be interesting. See how the team performs. Sorry, guys, but in good conscience, I can no longer go with Heretics unless it's a match that's like Heretics versus Cloud9. Then I'm literally going to have to bet on Heretics, because maybe it was a fluke weekend of Real had the yips and was struggling, but Heretics have had a very poor record-wise in all three game modes since Major 2. So yeah, definitely some thoughts on that. Now, G2 versus Breach. A couple moments I did think we were about to see Game 5, but G2, Ice and Veins sealed the deal. 3-1, GG's to them. G2 moves on. They'll face Thieves. So if we had gotten the Surge pick'em correct, we would have had a flawless Friday. But it is what it is, chat. Now let's move on to Saturday. Optic versus Falcons. Falcons definitely played Optic close in series, but Optic ended coming out hot with a 3-0. A couple times there was a dominant 3-0. Well, no, sorry. Well, the dominant 3-0 was Sunday for them. Whoops, hang on a sec. Now, Jumpmates versus Koi. Now, this one had me thinking, okay, this has the trappings of a Game 5. Hang on a sec. So, as I was saying, this had to me, this had the trappings of Game 5 written all over it. And I thought to myself, okay, this could go either which way, depending on how the maps and mode go. But nope. Gelmates literally bulldoze Koi over. And Ghosty, my gosh. He literally pistols, I think it's like 2 or 3 members of Koi to get the overload overtime goal for them to seal the deal for them. But either which way, it was dominance for them. So yeah, when we get to power rankings, I'll talk more about that. Alright, now let's talk about the FaZe versus Surge series. So this one was Game 5. It was a 6-1. So, Map 1 was tight knit. It was a 250 to 238 hardpoint on Scar. A round 11 in Raid when it was a 5-1 lead. Search almost full sailed FaZe, and I was losing my marbles. Like, I was shaking my head. And when we get to power rankings, I'll talk more about the teams there. But FaZe, they get the first search done. They move on to Overload. It was a 3-2. Yeah, I'm positive it was 3-2 or 4-3 in overload, and it frustrated me to bits because I thought for sure FaZe was about to go up 2-1. So we then go to the next two maps, which are Gridlock Hardpoint and Gridlock Search. And let me tell you, FaZe, they make a solid comeback in the Hardpoint, get to map 5, and then 0-4, my gosh, he takes over. And that's the type of taking over I need to see out of Simp and 0-4. Like, the SMGs were definitely fine. Simp not too much, and Simp did have a loss in his family this past week. So thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Hope Simp's doing better this weekend because he definitely was shaken, and I'd say not locked in my opinion. So yeah, Thieves G2 not even close. Smoke show. Thieves dominance continues. Alright, Optic versus Gelmates. This was pure murder, massacre, bloodbath. Like, Gelmates lying on floor, blood pooled everywhere. And Optic's just casually walking through a room after literally beating the living snot out of them. Like, when I was like, wave the white flag after map 2. In map 3, I was like, yeah, just wave it. Just wave the white flag. Yield, please. And now FaZe versus Thieves. This match had me beyond frustrated, so this definitely should have gone to map 4 or even map 5 because FaZe choked the Hasi hardpoint. They also can't get anything going on the overload, and I believe the search was search was definitely winnable if FaZe had played certain moments better. They definitely could have gone 2-1 up in series, and we could have seen map 4 for sure. It is what it is. And now let's talk about grand finals, where Thieves, holy, Thieves literally put belt to butt of Optic. And the things I'll talk here are, look at the hard points. They, outside of Scar, Gridlock 250, 248. That was one of the most nail-biting ends. I thought for sure Thieves were literally about to whip out the baseball bat and crack Optic a new goose egg of a hot 4-0 in the minor tournament. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're literally about to send Optic reeling hard. But nope, Optic steal the next two maps. Hasi still one of Optic's best maps, even from Black Ops 6. And then in almost overtime, Thieves sealed the deal and get it done in the second half by the skin of their teeth. Like, I thought for sure it was going to go overtime because Optic literally got 3 dead, and they were probably within less than 10 feet of the goal line. And I thought for sure we were going to go there, but Thieves, better gunny, better tactics, they get the job done and seal the game. So that was minor 2. Now let me show you what the power rankings are going into the second week of qualifiers. So blowed up means team's chalk. Online warriors means good online but not LAN. Confused is chemistry is not clicking. Dark horse is I'll put them there. Dark horses are teams I could see potentially making runs or upsetting major teams. Contenders are teams fighting for championships, and Sunday regulars are who I expect to see fighting for the ring. So after updating, confused wise, I moved FaZe down to confused just because their gameplay is not showing major success. Maybe they're in a little bit of fluke. I'm not sure, but last weekend was not their best form. So, yeah. Thieves still top of the leaderboard, second place overall on seeding for champs. The phase is third. Optics, as I've said before, having a Vanguard season. So, yeah, and there's nothing really to talk about the other teams. Koi, sure you guys are going to do better. Jailmates, oh yeah, another thing. Jailmates and Ravens had GA break, so they're banned from pro scrims this week. So not sure how that's going to shape up for this upcoming weekend. So we'll see what happens, chat. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got more thoughts. Also Thieves 3-peat. So they've done what FaZe did last season. So back-to-back years of 3-peats, which is pretty cool. And I think first time too. So yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to chat with y'all later. Let me know what your thoughts were of Minor 2. And peace out. Bye.